What's up, everybody? It's your boy Charles. Welcome to the Griot. Today we're going to be doing a reaction video to a YouTube channel that goes by the name Swamp Stories. Swamp Stories is a YouTube channel, and it deals with the underworld, deals with gangs, and it kind of tells their story of how these gangs came to be. This is a pretty interesting swamp story. It's about the Aryan Brotherhood. So we're going to watch this video. We're going to give our reaction. I'm only going to play a little bit of it. If you want to see the whole thing, go ahead and go to Swamp Stories, SWAMP Stories. The link is in the bottom. Y'all can watch the rest of the video. But anyway, we're going to watch about the Aryan Brotherhood. Let's see what's going on with how this got started. Give me the thumbs up button and subscribe to the Griot. Appreciate it. Here we go.
Welcome back to another episode of Swamp Stories. For this video, we take a deep dive into a wild organization that's rarely in the news. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. You can also follow the Instagram page as well. So let's get into it. When you hear California, you may think of the surfers in San Diego, the techies in San Francisco, or the wannabe actors in LA. But in reality, the state is much bigger than the cities on the coastline. In fact, the inland region is nothing like the cities on the coast. And in case you're unfamiliar, let me take you on a quick trip. We start off in the beautiful city of Los Angeles and we head east on Interstate 10. The further we go, you notice that the cars on the road begin to change. You go from G-Wagons and Teslas to Toyota Camrys and BMW 3 Series. And after an hour of traffic, we begin to run low on fuel in the city of San Bernardino. So we pull off at the first exit and oh my goodness, what is going on? Why is there a man passed out at the gas pump and why is there a 250-pound pit bull sitting in his lap? We definitely don't want to stop here, so we get back on the freeway and head north toward the city of Victorville. This has to be better than what we just saw. So 30 minutes later, we arrive in Victorville and look for a gas station. We arrive at the gas station and right there is the same man passed out at the pump with his pit bull. Okay, I'm just kidding, but why is every car a 2009 Nissan Altima with no license plate? And why do they all have 5% tint covered in air bubbles? Anyways, we get gas and we head north to our first hotel. The hotel is located in the town of Barstow, and this place is much stranger.
I've been to Barstow. Ain't nothing in Barstow.
We go into the Motel 6, and all we notice is Breaking Bad characters in the parking lot. Yep, Jesse Pinkman, Badger, and certainly Mrs. Wendy. Thankfully,
I can see that.
We make it through the night, and we head up north on Highway 99. We pass by Bakersfield,
Fresno, Bakersfield,
and the city of Stockton. All of these places either make you feel depressed or grateful for your life. Regardless, we keep going north until we hit the city of Sacramento. Finally, we're back into civilization, but not for long as we head north to Yuba City. And this region is
Fresno. Okay, yeah, Fresno is going towards North California.
I'm talking about southern flags, red hats, cowboy boots, and missing teeth. This area is more like Alabama than coastal California. So you may be wondering why the video started off like this, but it's to show you where the people in this story originate from. Generally speaking, in all of these cities and towns, kids grow up a lot rougher than the kids on the coast. Some would call it white trash, others would call it hick, but I like to stay away from
listen to like Korn and Insane Clown Posse.
Many of these teenagers turn to the street life and ultimately end up in California's prison system. And here is where the story begins.
Yeah, a lot of times those places in California, they always have
separate institutions operating
deserts where there'd be a lot of races.
But now that it was integrated, many people were nervous about what could go down. But according to many reports, things went pretty smoothly for the first few years. But then came 1967, where one man changed the entire dynamic. This would be George Jackson, a man I covered in a previous episode. George had been in San Quentin since 1961, way past his deserved sentence. Well, at a certain point, George realized that the system was not fair for people of his background. And coincidentally, at the same time, the Black Panthers were marching for their freedom in the streets of Oakland, not too far away. Well, after reading the newspaper and hearing about the Black Panthers, George Jackson got inspired. He wanted to create his own similar movement, just inside of San Quentin. So in 1967, George met up with W.L. Nolan, another inmate with the same mentality. Together, the two started the Black Guerrilla Family, also known as BGF. Within just 2 weeks, BGF membership grew to the hundreds, and that's when they decided to make a statement on the yard. On January 16, 1967, BGF members claimed the life of Robert Holderman, an inmate from Yuba City, California. This was the very first incident of this nature, and
so they're a prison gang like the Mexican Mafia.
On January 17th, the largest riot in San Quentin history broke out on the yard. 1,800 BGF associates versus 1,000 white inmates. Thankfully, after nearly an hour, the guards were able to break it up. But now the tensions were higher than ever, and there was no end in sight. Not only did BGF have the size advantage, but they were also organized, unlike their opposition. So in order to solve this problem,
they had 1,800?
Got together and started a crew. They decided on calling themselves the Aryan Brotherhood, also known as AB. Aryan represents an ancient European society, and Brotherhood represents that they'll always stick together. They decided
looked like they had a white dude in the BGF. See the white dude in the background?
Becoming a member was irreversible. Their first rule was blood in, blood
That's
out,
where they started.
That once you joined, you could never go back. The second rule was to never cooperate with police and to never act cowardly. Essentially, this meant
Aryan is like their Africa.
Your commands would instantly make you an enemy of the Brotherhood. And lastly, before officially becoming a member, you had to take this pledge.
But that's where that came from. Blood in, blood out. Remember the movie? Because you know the Mexican Mafia is associated with the Aryan Brotherhood too.
Everything is about rank and earning stripes.
That's why they wear the shaved head. People think that the shaved head. Who is this calling? People think that the shaved head comes from.
Rank is known as the commission, which is reserved for.
People think that the shaved head comes from.
And in order to make this rank, you have to do some wild things.
From the Mexicans, but it actually came from the Aryan Brotherhood.
The AB rivalry sparked off in San Quentin, with multiple acts going back and forth. Eventually, something had to be done, so the warden decided to ship off members from both sides to facilities across the state. The plan may have slowed things down in San Quentin, but it started problems all over the state. Both sides decided to use this to recruit new members and to fight battles in multiple locations. But here's where the two sides were different. Unlike BGF, where membership was voluntary, the Brotherhood didn't really give you a choice. Because BGF had a larger pool to draw from, the AB knew that they had to go harder in recruiting to match their size. So anytime a new white inmate came to a facility, the AB told them to either join or to be thrown in no man's land. If you didn't join the Brotherhood, you were told that you have no protection against BGF, La M, or NF. So as a result, 9 out of 10 inmates were compelled to join up. One of these was a man by the name of Bobby Augusta Davis. Bobby was a native of Sacramento way back when it was a poor farming town. Unfortunately, he had a tumultuous childhood which led him to living a dangerous life. Starting at the age of 16, Bobby robbed banks, stole cars, and even claimed the life of a man at Alcatraz. All of this took place way before AB even existed. So when he joined in 1969, this meant only bad things for the future. Well, his membership started at Tallahassee Federal Prison, located in North Florida. There, he became close friends with a man named Jack Twinning, who was a presumed AB member. Well, in January of 1970, Jack was released and returned to his hometown of Houston, Texas. 2 months later, Bobby Davis was released as well. Bobby wanted to return to California, but he knew that it would be the longest Greyhound ever. So instead, he contacted Jack, who agreed to host him in Houston. The two men were nearly flat broke, so they decided to come up with a plan. Bobby specialized in hitting banks,
so less than a year.
Not try one in Houston. But Jack explained that this is Texas, where you won't survive 2 seconds trying to do that. So instead, they opted to try California, where this may have a way better shot. So on March 27th, 1970, the two took turns driving to Sacramento. They arrive in early April and they drive around looking for banks. For whatever reason, they feel uneasy. So
everybody got a gun.
They find the location of an armored truck company down in Long Beach, and they figure that this could work. So on April 5th, 1970, they head down Highway 5 to LA. While passing the small town of Gorman, they notice a construction site on the opposite side of the road. There, all kinds of useful tools are laying unattended. So they pull around to the other side of the freeway and they grab everything they can get. Then they speed off and nearly ram into an oncoming car. This causes the car behind them to honk repeatedly. Well, Bobby does not appreciate this, so he pulls up next to the man and puts his blower out the window. The man slams on the brakes and Bobby speeds away. But then the man pulls over at the next payphone and calls 911. He tells them to watch out for a red Pontiac coming southbound. So the highway patrol line up in Valencia, the next town along the freeway. Boom, there is the red Pontiac, so 4 officers and 2 cars take off in
Why would he do that? And then call the cops? Call the cops
over at the Magic Mountain exit. He and Jack Twinning decide to comply with the officers and exit the vehicle. But then out of nowhere, they make their move. Bam. The incident made the national news, and it became the outside world's introduction
they killed the
to
cops.
The Aryan Brotherhood.
Oh damn, 3 people.
Would anger
oh, 4 people. What?
This act was disgusting in every way. But no, instead it actually elevated Bobby's status within the organization. On the flip side, Bobby actually wasn't proud of his actions, and he certainly didn't want it to represent the Brotherhood. So within the next few years, Bobby would make a bold decision. He renounced his AB membership, which put them in a major dilemma. Bobby was possibly the most ruthless member they had, and he didn't fear anyone. Regardless, the AB leader Thomas Silverstein put a green light on Bobby Davis. As a response, Bobby went to protective custody for the rest of his sentence. The early 1970s.
Wow, man, this is crazy, man. Listen, I'm gonna stop it right here. If y'all want to watch the rest of this video, this is a good story. Y'all can go to Swamp Stories and watch the rest of it. It's on. I have a link at the bottom. Goes in detail about the Aryan Brotherhood and how they started in California. What's this damn thing keep beeping for? But anyway, it talks about how they started, and this is a cool story, man. So y'all go ahead and click the thumbs up button and go ahead and click on the link at the bottom and go to Swamp Stories and check them out. Check out some of these stories, man. They got some really cool, interesting stuff about how gangs got started across America. And just the drug trade and this, underworld stuff. Really cool story. I like how the guy tells the story on his podcast. I don't know who the owner of Swamp Stories is, but the guy who's doing the narration, I think that's the owner. I'm assuming that's the owner of Swamp Stories. He's a really good narrator. So yeah, I give him a really good. He brought me into the story. I was really into wow, what happened next? Matter of fact, after I click off, I'm gonna go ahead and finish watching it. And you should go ahead and watch it too. Go ahead and click the link at the bottom and go to Swamp Stories. Give me the thumbs up button. Support Charles. I'm saying Charles Arnez. Support Charles Arnez World is my other YouTube channel that is on hiatus right now. But this is the Griot. You'll be watching the Griot, and I want you to support the Griot. I need 10,000 subscribers now by tomorrow. So if you can go ahead, 10,000, get us 10,000 people on your Facebook page, Instagram, all your friends and family. And tell them to give me a thumbs up button. And tell them this guy don't even know needs. This guy just saw on YouTube, and I don't know he needs 10,000 subscribers by tomorrow. So if y'all can make that happen to a person that you don't even know, I appreciate it. And I appreciate you watching the Griot. Give me the thumbs up button and leave in the comments. Talk about what y'all think about the Aryan Brotherhood. What y'all think? Leave a comment. Appreciate it.